Hello. So this particular instruction today is for my third and fourth period English classes. You guys are doing your senior research project paper over the next few weeks. So I wanted to begin by helping you flesh out your topic, as well as start thinking about the details to build your thesis statement that you will need at the end of your first paragraph, which will also lead you through your paper, your details. So remember, this is for my third period and my fourth period English class. Most of you are seniors and are graduating, so please make sure that you are following along with the videos that I post a few times a week. If you need to grab some paper and pencil to take notes before I begin this, I'll give you about 30 seconds here, and then we'll get started. Remember, you can watch this particular video whenever you want. It'll be on the school's YouTube page. Actually, I guess you're aware of that. Otherwise, you wouldn't have found it. Okay, we're going to get started here. This guide is on thesis statements and how to write them effectively. There are certain elements, of course, when you're writing any sort of paper, whether it's just a paragraph, 5-paragraph essay, or this big research paper that you guys are going to be writing. First, we're going to discuss a couple of things. What a thesis statement is, and what a thesis statement is not. Sometimes knowing what something isn't will help you to put those ideas out of your mind to be able to focus more exactly on exactly what it is that you need to have. So, some of the elements are, and this one's very important, your controlling thought, or what is your topic. Now, in the uploaded senior research paper packet that I gave you, there are a bunch of topics. Now, these topics are not built into thesis statements, but they're just topics and ideas that you can think deeper about to build together your thesis statement. So, how do you feel about the topic that you're going to choose? What is important about it? Now, you guys need to make sure that there is a topic that you can connect to. What are some things that you think about in your own life, or what are happening out in the world? So you need to choose a topic that you feel as though you are interested in. There have been many times where, over the years, where I've had students who chose a topic because of a couple reasons. Either they thought the topic was going to be easy to write, or they thought that there would be plenty of information. So you're going to have to do some research on various topics that I've given you, because you need to be able to find one that, number one, you enjoy and you'll like to learn about. Because writing a research paper is you researching, learning about what your topic is. And then also you need to make sure there's enough information for your topic. The truth is, sometimes in academia, many topics are considered more important and are researched and written about, or talked about, both, more than others. I think in one of the last videos I discussed sports. College athletes should get paid money because of the amount of work they do. There's a debate about that. But many students, as they do research on that particular topic, they can't find much academic material to support what they believe. And so that topic is very difficult to write because there's not much information. So there's that. Also, your thesis statement is going to combine these two controlling thoughts together. What is your topic? How do you feel about it? What is important about it? With 3 reasons. So we're going to move on from there. Remember, if you guys have any questions about what we're discussing today, you can email me at patnewley@gmail.com, or you can use my ROP email, patrick.newley@rop.com. Both of those emails are available. The ROP bill is available on the school's website, and the secondary email, the ROP email, is the Gmail is accessible from your research paper. It's on there. So, your thesis statement, what it is. It is a complete sentence that expresses your position on a topic, a point you want to argue or support in the essay. Let's say your topic is abortion. Now, if you are pro-abortion, then that would be a position. If you were against or anti women having abortions, then that is a position that you've decided to take. So you need to make sure that you have a clear position that you believe in, because you will be proving this position throughout your paper using details that you're going to find, research. Also, eventually your topic will be narrowed down to a specific focus of investigation. So you're going to have to zoom in by having details that explain your position. And this thesis statement will establish a direction, a focus for your entire paper, especially if it consists of subparts or details, which your paper will have details which you will have to defend. Of course, your topic, your focus, will point forward to the conclusion, which is where you will summarize or sum up your position and what you believe. Your thesis statement is most often stated in your introductory paragraph, and for this essay it will be at the very end, the last sentence of your introductory paragraph. So you need to make sure that you have at least 4 sentences for your first paragraph. You're going to have a hook, which we're going to discuss. You're going to have 2 background sentences. Then you're going to have your thesis statement. So 4 sentences for your first paragraph. Okay, to have an effective, strong thesis statement, your thesis statement needs to be disputable, meaning there needs to be an opposition or an opposing point of view. Abortions are relevant, and women should be able to get them because, whatever your reasons are. But then there also needs to be the other side who could say abortions are not relevant and should not occur because, and then the 3 details. If you have a topic that everyone believes one position on, you will not be able to write a research paper, because then it's not disputable. Then you don't have an argument, a different side. Another point is that your thesis statement needs to be very focused. It can't be too broad, because then you don't have specific details that you're going to write about. So you must have 3 details, 3 reasons to support your argument. Also, you need to make sure that your position is clear. Right? So focused. Next is relevant. A strong thesis statement will lend you to a point that is not boring, that it's relevant to what's happening in the world, what's happening in a person's personal life. Can be a thesis statement, the topic, but it also needs to be something that can relate to others so that there's a connection to it. Why is this important? For those of you, hopefully most of you that are going on to higher education, as you begin writing your research papers and your peers read it and your professors and their teaching assistants read it, it needs to be something that gives them stimulus to continue on wanting to connect to what you're writing. there's no connection there, then it's very hard to see your paper is having any value. And that will be important too, especially for those of you who move along into your sophomore, junior, senior year, and even to graduate school. Those of you who really want to get into the nuts and bolts of a specific research or academic part. So there's this. Also, next screen, these are components that you will keep and have inside of your thesis statement. The first one is what? What is the claim about the topic or the expressed opinion regarding a topic? For instance, if you look on the right in the example, the U.S. Civil War remains vastly different from the other conflicts experienced by Americans in the past 3 centuries. Right? This is an expressed opinion. And then this opinion will be proven with the how. The events, ideas, sources that you choose to prove your claim. And in this instance, it says specifically the widespread impact of the war on the citizenry. Right? That's one detail. The economy, that's another detail. And the landscape, the physical geography. This proves, this is the why, that the importance of the Civil War lies as much on the home front as it does on the battlefield. So you have your what in blue, and then the how, extremely important. These are your 3 details, which will be the focus for your varying paragraphs. For instance, you'll have your introductory paragraph. Then your next paragraph, if you were writing about this, your next 2 or 3 paragraphs would be about the widespread impact of the war on the citizenry. The next few paragraphs would be about the economy. The next few would be about the landscape. Then you're going to have a paragraph that gives the opposing point of view. We'll discuss that, and then your conclusion. So that's basically a roadmap for how to write the entire essay. So we're going to be moving slowly over this. Your thesis statement will take you quite some time to put together, and I'm here to help. Let's move on. So, another point of having a thesis statement, it needs to be strong. And what does that mean? Your thesis statement needs to take a stand. You can only play one position, one side. Right? Here's an example. There are some negative and positive aspects to banana herb tea supplements. Now, in your paper, you may know both sides of your topic, but you can't have negative and positive aspects. You need to choose one position that you're going to write about. Next, you can also, and this is a bit more effective, because banana herb supplements promote rapid weight loss that results in the loss of muscle and lean body mass. They pose a potential danger to customers and should not be used. So in this example, as you can see, the particular person who's writing about banana herb tea supplements is taking a position that they can be dangerous because of rapid weight loss, the loss of muscle, and lean body mass. So you need to choose. You need to take a stand, and you have to believe in your stand. Next, you have to justify, or you have to prove or show that it's worth writing a paper discussing your topic. So you could say, my family is an extended family. Can't really use personal pronouns anyway. Remember, you can't use I in your research paper. But here's a more effective discussion. While most American families would view consanguineous marriages as a threat to the nuclear family structure, many Iranian families believe that these marriages help reinforce kinship that ties in an extended family. So these families in Iran believe that having multiple daughters and sons bring their families in to live together can be effective. And that's a discussion that you can have and explain throughout your paper. Next, your thesis statement needs to explain one main idea. You're going to have a position. You're going to have details to support your position, but you need to have one position or one main idea. So this one is not effective. Companies need to exploit the marketing potential of the internet. That's one thing. And web pages can provide both advertising and customer support. So, internet, web pages, advertising, and customer support. So what is the main idea there? It's hard to determine. But here's a better version. Because the internet is filled with tremendous marketing potential, companies should exploit this potential by using web pages that offer both advertising and customer support. So this is much better because in the paper now, we know specifically that the main idea the author is going to discuss is how web pages that offer advertising and customer support are more effective. And then that is what your paper would be about. Your thesis statement needs to be very specific. Here's one that's not effective. World hunger has many causes and effects. Great. That's good to know. But what are you writing about? Instead, hunger persists in Appalachia, which is a part of the eastern United States, because jobs are scarce and farming and the fertile soil is rarely profitable. So in your essay, if you were writing this, you would talk about how jobs are scarce in farming in this infertile soil doesn't make much money. And then you would give, your paper would give details about that. Okay, what your thesis statement is not. Very, very important here. Your thesis statement is not a question. It could be the answer to a question, and in a sense, it is an answer. It's you saying this is what something is, rather than what something isn't. Your thesis statement is not a statement of purpose. So your thesis statement is not, in this paper, I will. Rather, it's something specific. Abortion is dangerous to women because, and then you give your 3 reasons. Also, your thesis statement is not simply a topic. It is the paper's main topic, abortion, coupled with the writer's opinion, your opinion, but not using personal pronouns regarding the topic. What to avoid? Okay. This is a great screen. If you got your phone, I would take a picture of this right now. These are things you do not need to have in your paper. It's going to make it very difficult for you to have a clear idea and to be able to write. You do not use personal pronouns, I, you, or we. Because then it turns your paper into a feelings session. And for your paper to seem relevant and important, you're explaining your topic as if you are the author of knowledge, that you have the wisdom of what your topic is. So we don't need to know what you think or feel necessarily directly, but you're using evidence and research and wisdom to explain your position. You don't want to say might or maybe or perhaps. These uncertainty qualifiers, what they do is they take the value that you have as a writer away because it makes you seem as though you're not sure. You don't want to use extremism, everything, all, none. It makes the author seem dogmatic, not open to opposition. There is a place for this sort of writing, but not in a research paper. Vague formulations are very similar to qualifiers. You don't need to use some, kind of, somewhat in your papers either. Also, attempting 2 topics at once, even if they seem related, will convolute and make your paper muddy. It can make it vague, hard to follow. It's better to stick with one specific topic, write your paper, and if you have more to say, you can write another one later. You also just want to avoid stating a fact. A thesis clearly needs to communicate your opinion regarding your topic for it to be effective. Also, here are some mistakes that are very common in thesis statements. A thesis statement is only a declaration of the topic, failed marriages. If you believe, if your topic is about pharaoh marriages, you need to have details in your thesis statement that prove this. Your thesis statement should not be worded as a question. Can men and women be just friends? Because then you don't have specific details written that you're going to be discussing. Your thesis statement should not be overly obvious. Overeating is bad for your health. We understand this already. But maybe you could explain why people overeat in your details. You don't want your thesis statement to be wishy-washy. Sometimes men and women can be friends and sometimes they can't. What are you talking about? Which way are you going to direct your paper? It sounds like you're going to talk about everything. And if you're writing a novel, if you're writing a long nonfiction book, 150 pages, maybe you can discuss this topic. Your thesis statement needs to be one sentence, and it cannot be extremely wordy. A lot of you, as you write your thesis statements, I'm going to edit them with you so that they are specific, concise. You really don't need to have more than 20 or 25 words. You do not need to make vows. This one's very, very important. You don't want to say, I am going to discuss, or in this paper I will analyze, or the purpose of this paper is. By explaining your thesis statement, we will understand as the reader what your purpose is, or what your vow is. You don't want your thesis statement to be a random list of arguments. You need one argument and details. So guys, as you can see, there's a lot built into creating and having an effective thesis statement. We will be discussing thesis statements over the next week or so, week and a half, as we're building and putting those together. Make sure that you guys are spending an adequate amount of time doing your work. Now, if you were in school, you would be in school from 8:30 to 2:55. The truth is that, guys, for every class period that you have, you should probably spend an hour, hour and a half each day working on your work that the teachers have uploaded and with the videos that are included on the various teachers' YouTube pages. So make sure that you're doing what you need to do. I'm always available. I'm thinking next week I may even have office hours on Google Docs specifically. So for those particular times, I will be right there at the screen for you to be able to contact me, and we can do work together interactively in the moment. So you guys are awesome. Keep it up. Let's get you guys credits. Let's get you guys graduated. Email me if you have any questions. Thank you. Have a nice day.